Okay, wheelchair rugby fans, welcome to Game 3 of the 2022 Canada Cup Wheelchair Rugby Tournament. My name is Adam Frost, and I'm joined here by
Joel Ewitz, and we're in for a good one today, I think, Frosty.
Yeah, we've got Team Japan, who are coming off a bronze medal at the Paralympics, their home country, and of course the World Championship before that against Team Denmark, who have really come on strong the last few years, and I know they probably haven't had a shot at a medal yet at a major tournament, but I think that and 3-5 Sebastian Fredrickson. For Team Japan, Class 1 Hitoshi Ogawa, Class 1 Tomo Oke Imae, and then the 2-3s Yuki Nobu Ike and Daisuke Ikizake.
Good job, Frosty. You killed that. Good work.
You'd think that I would know the names, but I've always struggled with the Class 1, who I call Kuri Imae. So there's the tip-off, and must have gone off a Japanese chair, and Denmark will have the opportunity to score the first try of the tournament here.
Right off Daisuke's front bumper there, and we gotta try here from.
So Fredrickson makes the long pass to Jorgensen, who scores the first try of this game and the tournament for Denmark. Imae inbounds to Ike, who moves the ball to Ikizaki, who makes a couple of moves and hits the low pointer Ogawa deep for Japan's first try. Mome to inbound. Good deny by Team Japan, but they're able to find Jorgensen on the far sidelines, who's forced to use Team Denmark's first timeout. He really caught the ball in a bit of a precarious position there.
Yeah, you know, that's one of those areas we call the danger zones, where they're on the half line and the sideline, and it was a good job working the chair by Ikizaki.
Do you want to just talk a little bit quickly about the timeouts in case we have any first-time listeners?
Yeah, so in wheelchair rugby, there's 4 player timeouts. You can use them almost as get-out-of-jail-free cards if you feel that you're maybe about to turn it over. You can call them whenever you want, but they're often used to prevent turnovers and keep the ball. And they also help reset the shot clock if it gets down. And so many ways to use it, but you do only have 4, so you want to use them wisely.
So Denmark is able to get the ball into Fredrickson off the inbound on the side there. Fredrickson advances the ball into Denmark's front court here. There's still 25 seconds on the shot clock, so they're slowly advancing towards the try line. And there's the pass over top to Mome, who scores Denmark's second try of the game. There's the inbound to Ikizake, who passes the ball over top of Fredrickson, and Ike scores Japan's second try. Okay, Mome gets the ball into Jorgensen off the inbound, who pump fakes and then fakes back and passes the ball up at the top to Fredrickson. Met by Ike, but is able to advance the ball over half, and now has a reasonably clear path to the try line. 3-2 for Denmark. Imae is statically sitting on the goal line, or try line, excuse me, now moves the ball over to Ike, gets the ball over top of Jorgensen. It's nice to have that big target there, tall target, I'll say. Ikizaki is advancing the ball over the half and is now sprinting towards the try line. Score a reasonably easy try for Team Japan.
Yeah, you know, Frosty, you talked about the how nice it is to have a big target, and Japan's 2 high pointers are some of the best passers in the world, so it's a great opportunity.
Denmark is able to get the ball to Jorgensen, who scores the try. It was a nice defensive pressure there by Japan to force a bit of a dangerous pass around the center line, but nice execution by Mome, and Denmark is up 4-3, but not for long as Ike and Ikezaki connect pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's that nice passing we were just talking about. Makes it a lot easier when you can pass instead of push.
It certainly does. Okay, Mome to inbound, finds Fredrickson in the far corner, wraps around the pile where he's met by Ike, moves the ball up to Jorgensen, another pass to Mome, who should be able to beat Ike to the try line. The score is now 5-4 for Denmark.
Pretty good back and forth action here to start the game.
We have our first equipment timeout here called by Jorgensen.
Yeah, so equipment timeouts can be called by players when they feel that something's wrong with their equipment. It can be a flat tire. In this case, it looks like it was his axle had popped out of his wheel, but yeah, you can call them. And the referee has to blow it dead, but you can use them to get your chair back in working order.
Denmark has elected to fall back and defend their goal rather than press. And looks like the referee's going to find 4 players in the key, and that'll be a 60-second penalty against Mome, give Japan an opportunity to have a fresh 40-second clock and to try to score here 4-on-3. Ball into Ike. In fact, Denmark here, it looks like they're going to strictly play for the offensive transition and not worry at all about defending their goal. However, Japan might have something to say about that.
Yeah, Japan's trying to get something out of the penalty here, trying to get one of the high pointers on Denmark locked up. It looks like they have Leon Jorgensen locked up there, and it's going to cause Denmark to not be able to do exactly what they want to do on the inbound. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it looks like Team Japan here is trying to run a double defense, so two defensive players on the 2 Denmark high pointers. However, they're able to get the ball into Fredrickson, who scores the breakaway goal and then quickly retreats back into his key, where Denmark will take another shot at stopping the Japanese offensive key attack here. Ikezaki with the ball, heading towards the far side of the key. Looks like Ike is trying to hit out, and yep, sure enough, 4 Denmark players are in the key again. I think Fredrickson was the last one in, and he will be spending up to 60 seconds in the penalty box.
Yeah, you know, the penalties, they say up to 60 seconds. It's not quite like hockey. You don't see a lot of kills very often, but they are rare. Maybe we'll get one this tournament. Who knows?
Well, I mean, just what happened with the last time the Danish player was in the box. That was a long time for a goal to be scored because everybody was already worried about the next possession. So Ike will casually stroll across the try line here. Score is 6-6, 5:03 to go in the first quarter. Fredrickson has called inbounder. Oh, and nice play there by Ogawa to get his hand on that pass. And Jorgensen was unable to pick up that deflected ball, and we have our first turnover of the game going Japan's way, and they'll have an opportunity to take their first lead. Ikezaki attacks the far cone from us, and then finds Ike in the key. It's nice to have that tall target again, and crosses the goal try line. Japan does have their first lead, 7-6. Jorgensen inbounds to Fredrickson, who's trapped on the goal line. Doesn't have much of a choice but to send the ball blindly deep. However, Jorgensen does a nice job to be the first one to pick it up, and is able to get it back to Fredrickson, who's got about 25 seconds here to advance the ball to the try line. Moving to the far side, now comes back to the near waist. Scobo has that cone sealed off, and Fredrickson can wheel into the close cone to us.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Jorgensen there, chasing that ball down and being able to get it out to player just in time.
Ikezaki has the ball deep in his own end, moves it up to Ike. who advances the ball to Ogawa, who fights off Fredrickson for Japan's 8th try of the game. Mame calls inbounder, heads back to pick up the ball from the referee. Japan has a nice deny here. Oh, and that was, I'm sure, a play that Jorgensen would like to have back. Probably tell you he should have caught that ball. Unfortunately, it bounces off his wheel and out of bounds, and that'll be the second turnover as both teams make substitutions here.
Yeah, we got a wave of subs coming in here, Frosty, on both sides.
Yeah, so it looks like Denmark's going to run a 3-5-2-2.5, and Team Japan will be running another high-low, 3-5-3, 1.5. Shimakawa has the ball, attacking the key. Tries to barge in between the corner players. Peters gets his hand on the ball and creates a loose ball. However, picked up by Shim. The two low pointers come back to put Peters out of the play, and Shimakawa was finally able to barge his way between the defender and the far cone. Peters against Hashimoto. Peters wins that race. Young player, looks like he's going to be a good one for Team Japan for a lot of years to come.
Yeah, you know, it's great to have tournaments like this where everybody can get experience, and, you know, here we got, you know, 6 of the top 7 teams, and good chance for everybody to show what they got.
So here's Hoshimoto's opportunity to pay it back, but Peters is able to get position on him and force the ball out of his hands. However, finds Shimakawa, puts the ball back to Hoshimoto. And now Japan will have about 20 more seconds on the shot clock here to try to work the ball across the try line. Everybody's kind of piled into one corner here, and Eriksson gets his hand on that ball and tips it out of bounds, and Japan will have to inbound the ball with 13 seconds to go here on the shot clock and attack the Danish key.
Yeah, nice play by Eriksson. He wanted the Denmark possession, but he couldn't quite convince the referee.
Ogawa inbounds to Hoshimoto, crisscrosses with Shimakawa. Nice job by the Japanese low pointer Hasegawa to seal off that corner, and Japan scores their 10th try. Ball comes in to Pa, who's quite close to the inbounder. Now Schuttel works his way up the far side and puts the ball over top, and now Peters proceeds unimpeded to the try line. Score 10-9 with 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Yeah,
first quarter.
Denmark got out of jail a little bit there. You usually don't like to inbound the ball that low, but they were able to push through and make it an easy try.
They seem to be back in the key quite a bit here. Looks like that might be their tactic moving forward. See if Team Japan can have some success. Of course, they did struggle that first time through, and Shimakawa is stopped by the two defenders and forced to Hoshimoto's had to call an equipment timeout for perhaps a flat tire or a strap. It's hard to tell, of course.
Yeah, we never know until the equipment guy comes out exactly
right.
what they what they want.
That's right. He doesn't have a wheel in his hand, so can't be a flat tire.
Oh, or it might be. We don't know. Oh.
Substitutions. Coming in for Team Japan, number 8, Kabatane, number 3, Kurahashi. Japan is running a 3-3-2.5 line, 8.5 points because they have a female athlete on the court. Shimakawa is down to 12 seconds, or Team Japan is down to 12 seconds. The shot clock here, not a lot of space, and an awfully lucky bounce there that goes Japan's way, and they're able to cross the try line.
Yeah, I don't think that's how they drew that one up. That's
right.
for sure.
Eriksson to Schuttel, who works his way up the far sidelines. Nice job by Peters to impede the defense here. Ball back to Peters, who runs into Ike on the goal line. However, is able to power his way past and continue to make it a one-try game. ball into Shimakawa on the close sidelines. One-on-one against Schudel. Picks up his pick, but second Danish defender Eriksson is right there. However, Shimakawa is able to make a move and get by him, and will kill a couple of seconds before he crosses the try line, and Japan regains its 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Denmark decided to press there for the first time in a little bit, and it was unsuccessful on Japan, so we'll see what they do next.
Eriksson to Schudel to Peters, and he will kill a few seconds. In fact, he's going to kill more than a few seconds here. I guess they're looking at clock management already, and now he crosses the try line with 1 minute and 30 seconds left in this first quarter. Obviously thinking about possession and last goal situations here. Nice inbound to the long arms. VK finds Shimakawa wide open. Scores the try for Japan, up by 2 again. Looks like number 1, Pa, has called inbounder and is working his way slowly back to pick up the ball from the referee. Japan has got the high pointer Peters tied up with EK sitting in front, which will be a tough inbound. So the ball goes to Eriksson on the far side. He's going to get around Shimakawa, work his way up over the center line. Gets his dribble in. Finds Peters. 25 seconds to go. A shot clock. And Japan falls back in its key. Eriksson's in early. And then Peters attacks the far cone. Looks like he's just killing a few seconds and then crosses the goal line with 55 seconds. And I'm sure Team Denmark here will try to force Team Japan to take at least 15 seconds to score to give them an opportunity to score last goal. Ike makes a nice pass, picked up by Shimakawa, and I would say that that was an unsuccessful defensive effort by Denmark. It's not what they wanted at all.
Yeah, that's the weapon of the pass. You can score very quick goals and force Denmark into situations they don't want to be.
Peters coast to coast to score the goal, score the try. 40.1 seconds to go in the quarter. Shimakawa to Ike. Over half. Stopped by Schudel and Peters and comes out of his chair. Manages to get the timeout before he falls to the ground. So Japan will retain possession with 32.2 seconds to go.
Yeah, that was just a good clean hit. No spin and a nice clean hit. And here we see on the replay here, just right in the front. And but he was able to get the timeout before he goes down. And there's those timeouts again that we talked about. He bails him out of jail as he's going down to the ground.
Okay, inbound to Shimakawa. I think Japan will be quite content to kill a few seconds here before they attempt to attack the key. It is their possession to start the second quarter, so if they're able to score last try of the quarter here and first try of the quarter next time, that will give them a 2-goal swing, and Shimakawa is just going to sit on the goal line and cross with 8 seconds to go. That is lots of time at this level. We'll see if Denmark's able to score. Peters racing up the close sidelines here. Time's running down, and tries to power his way through and comes up about a meter short.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Japan scoring last goal there. But as you saw, they left a little bit of time on the clock there for Denmark and came up just a meter short.
So that's the end of the first quarter between Team Japan and Team Denmark. Team Japan has the 2-goal lead, 2-try lead, 15-13. While we have a couple seconds here, we'll quickly take a moment to give a shout out to our sponsors, supporters, and hosts. Of course, none of this could happen without all of these people. The Government of Canada and organizations, I won't just say people. Government of Canada, Government of British Columbia, the Richmond Sport hosting, the Richmond Olympic Oval, and if you've never been here, it's a beautiful facility. Vesco Wheelchairs, Molten, the local 258 of IBEW, 3 hotels, Sheraton Vancouver Airport, the Hilton Vancouver Airport, and the Marriott Vancouver Airport, all within walking distance of the oval, which is a luxury at a wheelchair rugby tournament. The less time you have to spend on the bus, the better. So
Yeah, and you can, unlike waiting for a scheduled transport, you can just kind of go whenever you want, which is a nice something that's not usually available at every tournament. So it's a good thing to take advantage of.
and then finally, of course, World Wheelchair Rugby Canada, and the BC Wheelchair Sports Association, who are obviously the primary hosts of this event and do a great job and have been since the first Canada Cup, which was hosted way back in 2004 at the Bonzer Community Centre in Burnaby, British Columbia.
Yeah, I was just a child, Frosty.
Were you even a child?
Yes, actually, yeah. Just a young 4-year-old crawling around, causing havoc.
Okay, so Team Japan, as we mentioned, started the ball here. Started with the ball this second quarter. We've got Hashimoto and Ikizaki here working together, along with the two low pointers, Ima A and Hashigawa. And scores Japan's first try of the second quarter. Ball comes into Peters, who's now out with Jorgensen, Scobo, and Mome. Ball's loose on the ground. Picked up by Ikezaki, who finds Hashimoto deep against Jorgensen, who, by the way, I saw him clapping his hands, must have been responsible. I felt he was responsible for that last turnover because I wasn't looking up. And gets a bit of redemption as he goes coast to coast.
Yeah, he's going to like this a little more as he gets a breakaway from the half-court line. But Japan able to create another turnover and stretch their lead a little bit.
Japan impounds the ball to Hashimoto on the near sidelines here. Passes over top of everybody. Finds a streaking Ikezaki to score Japan's 18th try of the game. And then they quickly transition to defend Peters, leaving Jorgensen to receive the ball from Mome. And it must have been an offensive spin. Peters here on Ikezaki, and that will be a turnover, and Japan will get possession here with 7 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, so I didn't actually see that spin as it was a little bit ahead of the play, but yeah, when it is an offensive spin rather than going to the box, it is just simply a turnover. So Japan will gain possession here.
Ima-A to inbound to Hashimoto. Denmark is back in their key. And Ikezaki and Hashimoto attack together, try to split the two Denmark defensive players, high point players, and end up 4 players in the key, and the referee awards a penalty goal for Team Japan. Penalty try, excuse me. Ball comes into Jorgensen, the far side, pops it over the pile to Peters, who's kind of on the sideline with nowhere to go. Nice deep pass to Mome, though, who reels the ball in and crosses the try line.
Yeah, it was a nice pass. He was close to going over the sideline. It looks like he got it out just in time.
Yep. Inbound to Hashimoto, one-on-one against Peters, but help is coming. Does a good job of picking it up, and will now easily advance the ball over half to Ikezaki. Try Japan. Score is 20 tries for Japan, 15 tries for Denmark. Jorgensen with the ball. Got a picker to follow, but goes up the far side. Wheels around Ikezaki. Has Peters to follow. Scores the try for Denmark. MIA goes back to receive the ball from the referee. He's able to find Ikezaki. Worked his way up the far side of the court, now comes near side. Big hole opens up. Wheels across the try line.
Yeah, you know, the nice thing that players love about easy goals is not only do they get to go on a breakaway, but it also helps them set up their defense and try to force some turnovers. But obviously that transition didn't quite work out well, as we get a pretty easy goal going the other way.
Yeah, Jorgensen with the try for Team Denmark, who hustled back into their key. Now Jorgensen turns it on and tries to knock Hashimoto out of his chair unsuccessfully. And Japan will casually advance the ball into the front court. See what they can do here against the Danish key, who been doing an okay job. However, they do end up 4 in the key quite often. Hashimoto is able to beat Peters one-on-one on the near side here. Peter calls inbounder, sends it deep to Jorgensen over top of Hashimoto. Hashimoto is able to recover, force Jorgensen to turn away, who's double teamed. However, Peters will cruise across the try line.
Yeah, it was a nice out there from Jorgensen, almost a no-look bounce pass to Peters there, who was able to streak in for the goal.
So Hashimoto, or excuse me, Imae to Ikezaki. The middle of the pile, however, finds Hashimoto pass to everybody for another breakaway try.
Looks like Mome has called inbounder here.
Yeah, Mome coming back to the ball. Peters working with Skogo to try and use the screen. Japan forces the ball back to Mome, who finds Jorgensen, who's one-on-one versus Ikezaki. Does a good job of brushing off the pressure from Ikezaki to cross the try line. Imae to inbound. Japan's a bit out of his range. However, Ikezaki is able to work his way back to receive the inbound pass. Puts it back to Imae, who is going to put it forward to Hashimoto. Strolls across the goal line, try line.
Yeah, Denmark was close on that inbound there, but Ikezaki was able to get open just in the nick of time.
Ball into Peters, who's popped the ball over top to Jorgensen. Heads up the far sidelines. He gets stopped in the middle of the court, however, is able to find Peters. And Peters is able to easily beat the low pointer to score the 20th try for Team Denmark. Ball comes on to Ikezaki, who doesn't have too much trouble at all advancing the ball. Scores an easy try for Team Japan and to regain that 5-goal lead.
Looks like Jorgensen is called inbounder here, so we're going to have a high point inbound. This is when you got to watch those the deep ones, but it looks like it's just a little give and go here.
Yeah, Jorgensen stuck in the corner here by 2 Japanese defenders. Has to get that ball over top to Peters, who does a nice job of beating Hashimoto. Score the try for Denmark.
Yeah, Peters was able to wheel across half right at 28 seconds there, so they were just able to beat the 12-second count.
Looks like an equipment timeout called by Jorgensen here, so this will give everybody a moment to catch a quick breath and try to see if they can get into position to gain an advantage for their team. We're missing a red inbounder. Mae calls it way back here by us. So
I found him. We were missing the inbounder, but I found him.
Found him. There he is.
There he is.
Ball comes into Hashimoto. This is defended by Jorgensen. Takes his time to allow his pick to get into position and gets across center. Nice poise by Hashimoto. Scores the 26th try for Team Japan. Mome to Jorgensen. Once again met by 2 Japanese defenders. Forces the pass. Team Japan is able to recover. However, Peters is able to turn on the jets and get past Hashimoto there and score the try.
Yeah, Hashimoto went for the emergency hack there. As he was
Emergency hack. Only to be used in case of an emergency break the glass. Yeah. Okay, ball comes into Hashimoto. One-on-one versus Peters. Nice job to get wheel position. Tries to reach unsuccessfully. And Hashimoto gets the ball to Ikezaki, who scores the goal. Looks like Team Japan is going to play a zone defense here, if I'm hearing their coach correctly. The ball comes into Peters. He's able to barge through the defense and slowly works his way towards the Japanese try line, where he's met by more defensive pressure. And Denmark is going to have to score against the Japanese key defense here.
Yeah, some nice recoveries there by Japan, and they were able to not force an easy goal here. And now we got some key here, and just able to score there. They actually call it a penalty goal due to
Penalty try.
Penalty try. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the new terminology.
Bit of an errant pass. Oh, nice job by Ikizaki to reel that in. Peters reaches for the ball unsuccessfully, and now Hashimoto and Ike are working up the court 2-on-1. Jorgensen, I guess you could say, forced the pass there, which is what you want to do when you're the defensive player in that situation. Japan scores their 28th try of the game. Peters has the ball with a picker to follow. Mome wheeling up into a bit of a danger zone, but is able to barge through there and get stopped by Hikizaki before he's able to cross the try line, and makes a nice move. Scores in between Hikizaki and Hashimoto. Score is 24-28 Japan. Hashimoto gets first touch of the ball and spots a wide open Ikizaki, who coasts across the try line. 2 minutes and 23 seconds to go in the first half.
You know, some good work there from Japan. It seems like they're scoring a little easier than Denmark at the moment. So we'll see. We'll see if that changes and Denmark is able to get some easier tries.
Jorgensen works his way over half, being defended by Hashimoto. He turns back to pick up his pickers. Gets the ball to Peters. Team Japan is back in their key. And Peters sort of just waltzes in between the corner defender and the middle defender.
Yeah, you know,
didn't have to work too hard to score that try.
Yeah, there's always tight spaces in the key to try to work your way through, and he was able to find a hole there.
Ball comes into Ikizaki, who's covered by a couple of Danish defenders. Makes a nice lead pass to Hashimoto, who slows down before he crosses the try line, and then crosses with about 1 minute and 51 seconds to go in the half. Japan up by 5. Mome works his way back to the ball to inbound after a try. Peters is double teamed, moves the ball to Jorgensen. Heads up the far sidelines past Ikizaki, past Hashimoto, past Hashigawa, and takes his time as he slowly crosses the try line.
Yeah, you know, there we go. We talked about Denmark looking for some easier goals, and that was a pretty easy one, and they were able to help control the clock a little bit.
Both teams are flowing backwards and forth reasonably well. Fine at the moment. Hashimoto with Japan's 31st try, 26-31 the score, 1 minute 20 seconds to go. Ball comes into Jorgensen, who's met by Ikizaki and Hashimoto, but gets the ball up to Peters. 2 Japanese defenders recover. However, Peters is able to advance the ball over half, where he's slowed down. Heads to the near cone, gets the ball to Jorgensen. It's 15 seconds to go on the 40-second clock. However, Peters is wide open in the middle of the key. Scores an easy try with 51.3 seconds to go. Give and go between MIA and Ikizaki is successful. Ikizaki is slowly working his way over half. Nice pass to Hashimoto. And he scores quickly, and we'll see what Denmark decides to do here with 35 seconds to go in the half. Ball comes into Jorgensen. Works his way over center.
Looks like Jorgensen
Gets surrounded by 3 Japanese players. He's going to have to get the ball out, and does a nice job doing so. Peters is now working his way to the try line. Ikizaki bounces off his wheel once again, triple teamed, and it's not there yet. Getting low on time, and Jorgensen fingertips it.
Yeah, nice catch there. We got 4 seconds left and a deep track.
A nice deep pass. Can he track it in? And he uses the timeout to give Japan an opportunity to attempt to score here with 2.9 seconds to go in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, so they're going to get the ball on the sideline where he called the timeout, so it's going to be nice and close to the key. So Japan's going to look to set up here, and this is where having a player like Ike really comes in handy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who calls inbounder. I guess EK calls inbounder. There was 16 athletes on the court there at one point in time. So lots of dodging to get into position, and we'll see if EK can find EK Zaki here, who's trying to wrap around. EK finds Noriatsu on the far side, who's undefended, and Japan is quite easily able to score with 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Time runs out, and that's the end of the first half with the score Team Japan 33, Team Denmark 28. It will be Denmark's ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, pretty entertaining half of rugby there for us. Nice back and forth action.
Yeah, a lot of free-flowing game there in the second quarter in particular. The first quarter, Denmark obviously got back in the key quite a bit, which tends to slow the game down a little bit, which is, not a bad thing, just different, I suppose. So, while we have a few minutes here, we will once again take a minute to thank those responsible for helping put this tournament on.
All those people and organizations.
So the sponsors, supporters, and hosts of this event, the Government of Canada, Government of British Columbia, Richmond Sport Hosting, Richmond Olympic Oval, Vesco Wheelchairs, Molten Local 258 of IBEW, the Sheraton Vancouver Airport Hotel, the Hilton Vancouver Airport Hotel, the Marriott Vancouver Airport Hotel, and of course World Wheelchair Rugby Canada, and the BC Wheelchair Sports Association.
Yeah, to put on a tournament as great as this, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of people needed, and so we're very thankful to be back here this
And of
year.
course, all the volunteers that come and help out with the scorekeeping and crowd management, etc.
Getting a hold of those really spectators.
So, half to go. What do you think, Joel? What do you think, Denmark's down by 5. Do you think that they're going to put together a strategy here to try to come back in this game? You think they'll just be playing their bench to give everybody a shot?
Yeah, I don't quite know. Maybe they'll throw in their bench, and it seemed like part of their strategy in that first half, as we said, was to play some key, and it didn't seem to slow down Japan maybe quite as they'd hoped. So we'll see what's in store for the second half, but I'm sure it'll be a good one.
Well, it didn't slow Team Japan down in the attack, but a lot of that, as we mentioned before, was in fact the penalties on the 4 in the key. I thought that particularly when Hashimoto was out there, given his his reasonably limited experience on the court, there was a little bit of disorientation in the Japanese attack, but maybe Team Japan's thankful for that. They're giving them some opportunity to work on it, right? So
yeah, it should be a great opportunity for some new athletes to learn here, and key offense is always one of those things that you can't really replicate the repetitions that you get in a game. So that's the best way to learn is through the game, and it often is not, as you know, Coach Frosty. It's sometimes it's often not as you draw it up, and you got to improvise, especially in the key.
I don't know about you, Joel, but everything happens the way I draw it up.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Anyway, we're not keeping track of the timeouts here at the broadcasting booth, we'll call it.
We are not. Yeah.
Do you remember how many timeouts were used in that first half?
I think Denmark used at least a couple, but I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe it's my first time. Maybe I should be keeping track of the timeouts. I'm sorry, Frosty.
No, don't be sorry.
It's on me.
I've got the score sheet. I could have done it.
Yeah, you didn't let me touch your score sheet.
That's right. Hands off.
Yeah, you know, that first half had a little bit of everything. Some penalties, some we got to see a goal with in the key there with just a couple seconds on the clock, and yeah, it's been great.
It was a nice recognition. You know, I know that that Team Japan is really good at a couple of teams around the world are really good at picking up that ball and scoring those quick goals. I know Australia is another team that's really strong at doing that. Bond, when he finds bat for those breakaway goals, is tough to stop. And same with usually Ikazaki and Ike. However, this time it was Hashimoto and Ikazaki. So it looks like we're set here to start the third quarter. Eriksson will be inbounding the ball for Team Denmark, who are obviously scoring the opposite goal that they were just scoring at. Now that we're into the second half, their bench. Fredriksson is back out on the court and scores the first try of the second half here. Norimatsu is inbounding the ball to Shimakawa. One-on-one versus Eriksson, who tries to get that pointy thing, as Jess calls it, in our last game.
Yeah, you know, some people call it a picker, some people call it a pointy thing, you know.
However, good speed by Shimakawa to get past him and score the try for Team Japan.
Yeah, those pointy things sure do make it hard to get around, though. But Shimakawa was able to get around it.
Eriksson has the ball for Denmark, and Shimakawa puts a big hit on him. However, the ball is moved up to Fredriksson. He's working his way over half and finds Shodel. And makes the score 30 tries to 34 tries for Team Japan. Ike gets the ball from the inbound, working one-on-one against Fredriksson. Gets stopped, has the ball, pass the ball to Shimakawa. Passes the ball over top of the pile to Noriatsu. Finds Ike. Scores the try for Team Japan. Norimatsu, excuse me. Eriksson has the ball against Norimatsu to Fredriksson. Makes a quick pass to Shodel Deep, who's not covered, and scores a wide open try.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Fredriksson there. He knew exactly where he was going with the ball before he even caught it.
That's right. Norimatsu gets it over top of Eriksson to the tall Ike, who quickly moves the ball to Shimakawa, who repays the favor. Gets the ball back to Ike. Scores the try for Team Japan.
Looks like we got a low point inbound coming in here.
Pa has called inbounder. And looks like Team Japan will attempt to deny the ball from coming in. However, Fredriksson gets into position, so won't be able to do that. But took his eye off the pass and fumbled the ball, and the ball ends up in Ike's hands. Turnover for Team Japan, and Shimakawa will score in between the far cone and his player Noriatsu. Fredriksson moves the ball up to Shutel, who's met by Shimakawa. Forces him away from the try line. Eriksson with the ball, covered by two Japanese defenders. Has to move the ball to Fredriksson. 20 seconds to go on the shot clock. And Fredriksson is able to work his way across the try line. Norimatsu has the ball. He's going to inbound to Ike again. Quickly to Shimakawa. We've seen that before. She makes a quick turn to his right and now is able to move the ball to Norimatsu.
Some good spacing there by Norimatsu. He was able to inbound the ball and create space and score the try.
Looks like Pa is called inbounder again for Team Denmark. He's working his way down to the try line and puts the ball into the hands of Eriksson, who's met by Ike. So he quickly moves the ball to Fredriksson. He's coming up the close sidelines here, over half, where he's met by Shimakawa and Ike. And he's going to get shoved towards the sidelines here.
Right towards us, Frosty.
Well, close to that sideline, but he's able to manage control his share and then loses control of the ball, but it's picked up by Eriksson. Back to Fredrickson, and we're down to about 15 seconds on the shot clock, try clock. And Schotel receives the pass and crosses the try line.
Yeah, good composure by Team Denmark. They were able to keep control of the ball there and score the try.
Norimatsu to Ike to Shimakawa. Comes up the close sidelines here. No contest against Shoto, but Fredrickson's there, who manages to knock him out of his chair. However, Shimakawa is able to make the pass to Ike before falls.
Yeah, you know, he didn't quite knock him out of his chair. He's strapped in, so that's good. That's good news there. It's good news. The straps worked, and he was able to stay in his chair, but now he's back up, and even better, he was able to get that pass off before he...
So how would you like me to describe that? Knock all four wheels off the ground, onto his side.
He was able to knock him over.
Knock him over.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, well, that's what we'll use from now on.
That's the technical term.
Technical term.
Put that one in the rugby dictionary.
I prefer knock him out of his chair.
You know what? It's all right, Frosty. It's all right.
All right.
You've been around longer than me. I guess you get the. I guess you get the final say.
All right. Well, Fredrickson has the ball checked off his lap there. However, Team Denmark is able to maintain possession, and the second inbound comes into Shodol. Back to Fredrickson, who's surrounded by a couple of Japanese players. However, moves left, moves right, tries to barge through Shimakawa and Norimatsu. Great job by them to stop him on the try line. And with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, Team Denmark's going to have to hustle here to punch the ball in. Looks like they attack the far cone, and Fredrickson's able to cross the line after a nice seal there by the Danish offense. However, 2 seconds later, Japan is able to score a quick try.
Yeah, you know, there's that Japanese aerial game we talked about, able to make tries so easy when the high pointer can pick it up and chuck it the whole length of the court.
Long pass by Eriksson, easily intercepted by Ike, who gets that long arms into that passing lane. And looks like Team Denmark is so a little bit of miscommunication here by the Danish side. Their coach is trying to use a timeout. However, it was called a bit late, and the referees had already started play. So Denmark had to quickly recover and get the ball, and was able to score the try. And with 4 minutes and 28 seconds to go in the third quarter, Japan is up by 6, and Team Denmark is now able to use their coach's timeout. Looks like it's primarily to make substitutions, as we're going to see Emholt and Mortensen see their first minutes in this game. So Norimatsu comes back to inbound the ball for Team Japan. He's got Ike if he wants it, so he makes the pass. Ike slows it down to allow the pick to get set up. Advances the ball over half, one-on-one against Shutul, and scores the try for Team Japan. Inbound comes in to Elmholt, who turns, tries to follow his pick up the court, but is being forced into the sidelines by the Japanese defense. Gets the ball to Mortensen, who makes the pass to Schutel. Back to Elmholt. And with 20 seconds to go, Denmark will attempt to attack the Japanese key defense. Working the ball left and then right. Back to the left now. Running out of time, is going to have to make a quick pass and end up using the timeout just before the 40-second try clock expires. And Team Denmark will have 15 seconds to attempt to score a try here.
Yeah, so that's another nice thing about the timeout is it does reset. If the clock is below 15 seconds, it'll reset the shot clock back to 15 seconds. And Denmark's going to talk about it quickly here and try their luck again at the Japanese key.
So substitutions for Team Japan. We're going to see Kurahashi get her first minutes, and Motoki Sugano see his first minutes of the game as well. As Japan is now running a 3-3-2.5 line, 8.5 points, of course, because they have a female athlete on the court. And Elmholtz working his way to the near side here. Oh, and finds Mortensen for the try for Team Denmark. And Ikezaki breaks deep. However, Ike inbounds the ball to Sugano, who puts the ball back to Ike, who's racing up the far sidelines. Gets past the Danish defense, makes a little move, and scores the try for Team Japan.
Yeah, he was able to just fake the pass there. And in wheelchair rugby, usually the less you can pass, the better it is. It is, especially in a 2-on-1 situation. And we have another turnover here. Ike is able to grab the ball at half court.
Yeah, well, Elmholtz got put into a bit of a difficult situation and was forced to get the ball out. And put the ball straight to Ike, who was able to intercept another pass.
Very tough to pass over that guy.
It's a tall player for sure. Elmholtz gets the ball over half, where he's met by Ike.
Big hit there by Ike. Wasn't quite able to get Elmholtz.
Nice job to control the ball by Elmholtz. Shot clock running down to 20 seconds. Ball comes into Mortensen. Slowly working his way towards the try line. All 4 players are bunched up, but I guess Ikezaki lost the track of where he was there. And there's a big gap between the cone and the defensive player, and Mortensen was able to wheel across the try line.
Good job by Mortensen there, being able to find the back of Daisuke there, and a nice easy try here for Japan.
Okay, Shoto comes back to inbound the ball for Team Denmark. Doesn't have a lot of options right now, so he moves down the try line and is able to get the ball into Elmholtz, who's being defended by Ike. Elmholtz starts moving the ball towards the half-court line, moves the ball forward, where it's picked off by Ikezaki. And he will reasonably slowly work his way up. And I'm sure Team Japan will cross the try line here to extend their lead 46-37 with 1 minute and 58 seconds to go in the third quarter. Mortensen with the ball, one-on-one against Ike. Gets the ball to Elmholtz once he crosses half. After he crosses half, attacks the cone here. Ikezaki's chair slides a little bit, so he crosses the try line, and Team Denmark is awarded a penalty goal, penalty try. Sugano inbounds the ball to a wide open Ike, who advances the ball to Ikezaki and to 2 Danish defenders. After spinning around a couple of times, finds Ike over half, who moves the full ball forward to Sugano. The close corner here for Japan's 47th try.
Yeah, just some good passing there by Japan. We also like to call it good pops.
Pops.
Good popping.
Mortensen is in a bit of traffic trying to advance the ball. Elmholtz puts it to Schutel on half, who is forced to use a timeout to avoid that potential backcourt violation. And Team Denmark will inbound the ball in the front court after making substitutions, coming back with their high-low line here.
Yeah, you know, in this game now we've seen almost all uses of the timeout there. It was used to prevent the backcourt violation.
Jorgensen receives the ball. 23 seconds to go on the try clock. Fredrickson is moving towards the Japanese try line. Swings one way and then back towards us and scores. Big hole, big gap here between number 5, Mome, and the goal cone. Ball comes into Ikezaki, who's able to get the ball over top of the defender's arms to Ikezaki, one-on-one, one-on-two, but is able to score the try. Inbound to Jorgensen. One pass to a wide open Fredrickson, who quickly crosses the try line. given 48 seconds to go in the third quarter here. Obviously still thinking last goals if they can.
Yeah, you know, he's trying to give his team an opportunity to score the last goal here.
You like to see your players with their head in the game no matter what the situation. Good job by him. Ike is moving slowly up the court here as Team Denmark is elected to drop back in their key. Obviously, I think they're trying to slow the game down to give themselves an opportunity to score last goal, but I suppose Team Japan could use a timeout here and attempt to get last goal if they choose to.
Looks like they're attacking here.
And they are attacking. So Skobo comes out of her corner. Bit of a lazy pass by Ikezaki there to Ike, and it's denied, and Jorgensen will pick up the ball and slowly make his way across the try line and give Team Denmark potentially the last goal of the quarter here, since there's 4 seconds to go, and Team Japan will just play it safe given their 7-try lead here and shake that one off and look forward into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you know, good job there by Team Denmark. As we talked about, you know, Fredriksson was able to score there quickly, and it was good to see him with his head in the game, and they were able to actually capitalize on that last goal opportunity, and he was fired up about it there at the end. So,
what are your feelings about last goal, Joel? I mean, I know that I'm for them. Personally, I prefer to have the ball in my hands, but there's also that, you know, counter of what we just saw there. If you don't score, is it too big of a momentum change for the other team? What's your risk analysis when it comes to last goal situations?
Yeah, you know, I think it's I think it all depends on you know, how easily you're scoring throughout the game, and you know, because sometimes, you know, if you're having trouble scoring anyway, holding for the last goal can really backfire, because if you hold too long, it can give that other team the shot at last goal. So it really depends on how easily you're scoring, and if you're having lots of trouble scoring, I feel like, you know, it's best to just take the goal. But you know, that's just my opinion. And
well, you can't take them off the board, that's for sure. Perhaps they will find a way to do that one day, but
yeah,
they haven't yet.
not
Anyway,
yet.
while we have a few seconds before the fourth quarter begins, let's quickly one more shout out to our sponsors, supporters, and hosts: Government of Canada, Government of British Columbia, the Richmond Sport Hosting, Richmond Olympic Oval, Vesco Wheelchairs, Moulton, Local 258 of IBEW, Sheraton Vancouver Airport, the Hilton Vancouver Airport, the Marriott Vancouver Airport, and World Wheelchair Rugby, Wheelchair Rugby Canada, and the BC Wheelchair Sports Association. So for Team Japan, we're seeing Hashimoto and Shimakawa back in the game as the Japanese high pointers, and Denmark has come out with Peters, Eriksson, and number 4, Mortonen. Ball comes into Hashimoto, works his way through the Danish defense, and manages to score Japan's first try of the fourth quarter. And ball comes into Peters, who's being defended by Shimakawa. Works his way up the far sidelines where he's met by the Japanese defense. Has to move the ball to Eriksson, who's over half and surrounded by a couple of Japanese defenders. Gets the ball back to Peters, who doesn't have a lot of space to move, but does a good job of getting out of a dangerous area. And now, after a bit of a hip swing there, is able to cross the try line. Scores 49-42 for Team Japan. Ball comes into Hashimoto, able to beat the 2 Danish defenders. And Peters moves over and forces the pass to Shimakawa. Crosses the try line for Team Japan. Eriksson to inbound for Denmark. Gets the ball over top and misses Mortonen. Nice job by Hasegawa to deflect the ball to his teammate there. And then Team Japan calls a timeout to ensure that that ball doesn't get turned over. And with 7 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the game, we'll try to extend their lead to 9 tries.
Yeah, you know, there's another use of the timeout that we've seen there. Something when, if you feel that one of your teammates is in a vulnerable position, you can use it to help them out. The one thing about that though is, you know, only your teammates know exactly just how much trouble they're in. So
So Japan has made a substitution. We're now seeing Fuya Shirakawa on the court, class 3-5. It's the first time I've seen him play, so I'm interested to see how he is. He gets himself on the try line and gets his name on the score sheet, stat on the score sheet in his first 5 seconds of action.
yeah, it's gotta feel pretty good. He's got a pretty good minute per goal ratio right now.
I know it's tough to come off the bench and play after you've been sitting there for pretty much 3 and a bit quarters, so nice to get a quick touch of the ball and a try, build a bit of confidence. Ike being defended one-on-one by Peters, who picks up a pick. And Ike, I think, makes a bit of a hopeful pass to Shirakawa there, which is intercepted. And Denmark is able to make it 1 goal closer.
Yeah, nice play there by Eriksson. He was able to read that passing lane and able to calm himself down for a nice pass.
Well, I'm sure that we've seen Ike do that to him at least once in this game, so nice to get a bit of payback, eh?
Yes,
All
indeed.
right. Ike up to Shirakawa, defended by Eriksson, who's met by Morton. Sitting there looking to pass the ball, finds Shirakawa, who moves the ball to Ogawa, the low pointer, class 1, scores the try. The ball comes into Peters. It's going up the far sidelines. Big of a drag race with Ike. He's able to get wheel position and score the try. Team Denmark.
Nice push there by Peters.
Nice push. Shirakawa is called inbounder for Team Japan. See how they set up here. Ball comes into Ike, who's stuck by Peters. Oh, nice deep pass to Ogawa, who is able to score the try one-on-one versus Morton. Looked like Japan was going to be in a bit of trouble there, but found a bit of a bailout.
Yeah, you know, that's one of the strengths of number 21 Ike is he's one of the best passers in the world, if not the best, and he was able to bail them out there.
Yeah, he got a little bit close to the inbounder given his classification.
Yeah, they had a lot of people below the free throw line.
Inside the key, yeah. Okay, Peters streaks up the court and scores the goal, or scores the try, excuse me. We're getting better at that.
We'll get there one day.
We'll get there one day, exactly.
First day, we got
3 more to go.
We got 3 days left. There we go.
3 days to go.
Math.
Okay, Ike receives the ball. The inbound after a goal, pops it up to Shirakawa. One-on-one versus Eriksson, where he's met by 3 Danish defenders, and he's going to have to call a timeout. Good decision by him. It didn't look like there was a lot of options over half.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it's better to keep it in the holster, and rather than throw the ball away. And he was smart to use the timeout there, but now Japan has used their last timeout, and they are out of timeouts. So no more get out of jail free cards. Yeah,
well, quick shift for Shirakawa there. You know, I think the speed of the game is a little fast for him, given his experience level. So good to get that first couple of minutes out of the way. I'm sure we'll see more from him as the tournament goes on. Japan comes back to Shimakawa and Hashimoto here. Shimakawa makes a long, deep pass to Fredriksson,
who's not on his team,
who picks up the ball and brings it back for Team Denmark. 5 minutes to go in the game here. Peters and Fredriksson try to crack block for each other, which opens up the close corner here, and Fredriksson crosses the try line behind Pa.
Good seal there by Pa. Gave Fredriksson a nice easy lane over the try line. Looks like we got a bench timeout for Japan.
Yeah,
here.
Team Japan has called a 60-second timeout here. Obviously, Coach Orr wants to just make sure that everybody's on the same page here. You know, I don't think the result of this game is in doubt at this point. However, Want to make sure you finish strong and build towards the next game, so to speak.
Yeah, you wanna take advantage of the reps that you have as a team together against a good opponent like Denmark. It's these opportunities like Canada Cup where it's best on best don't come around all the time. So you want to try to use this time and these games, and no matter what the score, to the best of your advantage.
Exactly.
As the teams try to work towards World Championships.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so looks like Imai is on now and inbounds the ball to Ike. Back to Ikizaki, who is also on the court. Manages to get the ball over top of the defenders to Ike, who's able to find Ogawa deep. And Japan is able to score the try and is up 54-47. Ball comes into Peters, who turns to his left and then to his right. Now comes back into the middle of the court. Finds Fredrickson right on that half-court line. Good job by him to not have a violation there. Works his way around the Japanese defender where he's met by Ike. Now comes back towards us. Manages to pass the ball over top of the two Japanese defenders and finds Peters. 10 seconds to go on the shot clock, and Peters is able to knock Ike out of bounds for the penalty try. Team Japan was looking for the quick break from Ike to Ikizaki there. Nice job by the Danish defense to anticipate that play. So Japan goes back to its traditional low point inbound to the tall Ike, who now finds Ikizaki wide open deep, and he will casually cross the try line.
Yeah, we've seen that a lot from Ike number 21, setting up in his favorite spot there, and no trouble getting the inbound.
Ooh, tough pass to Peters from Fredrickson, and after a couple of tips, goes off of White last and will be Japan's ball.
Yeah,
on the far side.
As we see here, Fredrickson trying to thread the ball in between Ikizaki and Ike, but not quite able to get it done.
Yeah, it's a tough pass because Ike, as we've already mentioned, is quite tall and is able to intercept those passes if they're not right on the money. Try for Japan. So Paul will now inbound the ball to Fredrickson right in front of him, who's trapped by two Japanese defenders. Finds Peters, who, after stalling for a moment, is able to get the ball over top of the Japanese defense and find Fredrickson wide open deep. Denmark is going to fall back in their key for at least this possession. So Japan will slowly work their way up the court with the ball. Sure, they'll be in no rush here, given the situation of the game.
Subs when we can.
Ikizaki crosses the goal line, and it is 56-49 for Team Japan. Peters inbounds the ball to a streaking Fredrickson, who's forced back by Ike. However, crosses half after a couple of weaves backwards and forwards. Comes back to pick up his pickers, and Japan will now fall back into a key formation. I heard a flat tire.
I did too.
And a bit of a dodgy pass. It will remain Denmark's ball, and Peters will now use the equipment timeout.
Yeah, nice swipe there by Ike, but Denmark will retain possession with 21 seconds on the shot clock. We got some subs coming in here for Denmark.
I'll be interested to see if Japan attempts to keep him in the key after the tire is changed. No, he's going to call inbounder or get subbed, one of the two.
Looks like he's getting subbed. There we go.
All right.
Oh,
Ball
nice.
into Elmholt from Mome to Jorgensen, who's quickly attacked by Ike and Ikizaki. Ooh, almost managed to get a penalty and a turnover at the same time there. And Denmark uses probably their last 30-second timeout here, as they were running out of time on the shot clock.
That looks like Denmark is now out of timeouts. You know, I just noticed they're on the scoreboard.
Are they on the scoreboard,
Yeah,
Joel?
we didn't have to. We didn't have to.
We didn't have to guess.
We didn't have to be guessing, but we're learning every day. I think they're usually on the scoreboard too. Maybe that's something we should have picked up on.
Well, I'd like to throw a shout out then to our good friend Nathan Bragg, who helped prepare us for this commentary.
Well, hey, it's my first game. You've already had a game.
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right, Elmholt moving his way towards the Japanese goal and finds Mome on the try line, and the score is 50-57 for Team Japan. Shimakawa gets the ball, sent it deep to Hoshimoto, who is not defended, and scores a reasonably easy try for Team Japan, or what looks easy. It's much harder to execute than it looks sometimes.
Yeah, Hashimoto, they're able to seal the top nice and easily and make it a very easy pass for Shimakawa.
Ball comes into Jorgensen, swings to the far side to try to pick up some pickers. Manages to cross half, where he's met by Shimakawa, who has to come out of his chair, which will force the equipment people on the court to pick him up and give Team Denmark a new 40-second try clock.
He comes out of his chair there, so they're just putting him back in it. Oh, that's right, he's strapped. He fell over.
He fell over.
He fell over. There we go.
I thought we agreed it was out of his chair.
Well, he looks pretty in his chair to me, Frosty.
I'm never going to change. Never going to change.
Can't teach an old dog new vocab, I guess.
No. We used to come out of our chair once a long time ago, when we used to think it was soft if you wore a strap.
Seems a lot safer now.
That seems safer.
Seems a lot safer.
Elmholt receives the inbound from Mome, and Team Japan gets back into their key after some substitutions by the Japanese team. Elmholt attacks the close cone here, but has to turn back. Looks for an opening on the far side, barges his way through, knocks the Japanese defender out of bounds for a penalty try. Sugano looking for an inbound option and finds Hashimoto, who is then doubled by two Danish players. Sugano works his way up court and scores the try for Japan, and with 1 minute and 49 seconds to go, Japan maintains its 8-try lead, 59-51. Mome inbounds the ball to Elmholt, swings to the far side, and then turns back to try to pick up his kickers. Has to force the ball to Jorgensen, who's in between two Japanese defenders, and the ball bounces back to Hoshimoto. 9-try lead for Team Japan, 1 minute 34 seconds left in this game. Once again, the ball comes into Elmholt, who has a picker to follow. Nice job by Hashigawa to force him to turn back. Gets the ball to Jorgensen, who forces his way across half, and then after a move is wide open and crosses the try line. 8-goal lead for Team Japan, 8-try lead for Team Japan at this point in time. Sugano looking for an option on the inbound. Gets the ball into Hasegawa, who's defended by Jorgensen. Gets the ball back to Sugano, who has to make a bit of a long pass, which is unsuccessful. And it is white ball with exactly 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Japan trying to execute the give and go there, wasn't quite able to get it, and now Denmark has a chance to close this lead a little bit.
I think this is the first minutes for Kabatani, number 8 for Team Japan. So a bit of a inexperienced lineup for Team Japan, and a nice key defense by them. And Sugano finds Hashimoto deep, who's one-on-one versus Mome, which is not much of a matchup at all, given the classification difference. And Team Japan scores the try with about 34 seconds to go. Mome to Elmholt, who's working with Jorgensen to beat the Japanese defense. And good job by him to move the ball forward. And with 21.5 seconds to go in the fourth, Denmark scores at their 53rd try. Sugano looking to inbound the ball. Finds Hasegawa on the give and go. Nice job on the exchange. And Sugano moves up the near sidelines here. Makes the pass to Kabatane, who's being defended by Jorgensen. Kabatane finds Hashimoto, who, with no time left in the game, makes a long pass unsuccessfully. Final score of the game, Japan 61, Denmark 53.
Yeah, you know, a really good game there, Frosty. We had some good things from both teams, and Japan is able to prevail with a 8-point lead while getting lots of experience for their younger players.
Yeah, so great job by both teams. You know, I think the speed of team and height of Team Japan just proved to be a little bit too much for Denmark.
Yeah, you know, we saw as the teams wave at each other in front of us, we saw, you know, a lot of good defense, and just we saw how tough it is to pass over Ike there, and he was able to create a lot of turnovers for the Japanese team, and they were able to prevail.
Okay, so that concludes the third game of the day at the 2022 Wheelchair Rugby Canada Cup. Next game will be at 5:30 local, which is in about 45 minutes, and it will be Team France versus Team GB, a rematch of the European Zonal Championships. So please tune in and enjoy.
Yeah, thanks everybody for giving us a listen.